What's going on, everybody? It's GameUnboxingReviews here, and welcome back to another LEGO Jurassic World news update. Now, in this video, I'm actually going to be talking about some brand new screenshots that have been released for the game, and they are extremely cool. But before all that, I'd just like to give a huge shout out to Torsten Grust on Twitter, who actually sent me a tweet informing me that these screenshots were released. So, big shout out to him because I really do appreciate it. Alright, guys, so without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so first off, this is clearly the beginning of the movie where we see Dr. Alan Grant and Dr. Ellie Sattler digging up dinosaur bones. I'm really glad you actually get to play through this part of the, the movie, because I wasn't sure if they were going to let you or not. I mean, it's quite a short scene, it's kind of like just an introduction to Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler, but it's nice to see they actually added it in, because it was a cool moment in the film. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this mission. Next up, I'm pretty sure this is the raptor feeding scene. However, of course, as we know from the actual trailer, this scene will be very different in-game in comparison to the movie. Because, of course, in the movie, I think it's either a bull or a cow they feed to the raptor. And then, in the actual game, it was like the bull or the cow using the crane, and then it puts the human in, and then he comes out, and he's like, all his clothes are being ripped off and everything. So it's pretty cool. And, obviously they have to do that because it makes it more family-friendly, but it doesn't really ruin it at all. I think it's great, because the LEGO games, they're known for their humour. They're really well known for their humour and their fun gameplay and things, so it's perfectly fine to do stuff like that. And I'm wondering if we actually get to play as the cow or the bull, because we see it in the cutscene, but that might just be the end of the mission once you've finished doing everything, because I imagine you play as a few of the characters we see on screen here, or you might play as the ones watching, but I don't think they really have anything to do there, so I would imagine it's actually the guys, with the red hats who actually work in Jurassic Park. I'd imagine it's them. Alright, so here we can see another great look at Dr. Ellie Sattler and Jerry Harding, who, of course, we've seen in another screenshot, pretty much exactly the same as this one, except the sick Triceratops was actually on the ground, I think, because obviously it's sick, but then once you treat it, it gets up and you can actually play as it, and it can do charge attacks and things, I think. There's loads of stuff it can do. It's really cool. Each dinosaur will have its own specific, unique abilities, so they should be really fun to play as. But of course, that's the great thing about this game. There's dinosaurs that are playable, and there's also humans, and each of them all have their unique abilities, which is really cool, and I like to see that they're pushing that really far in the LEGO games now. They're not trying to make copy and paste characters. They're really trying to make each character useful, unique, and fun to play as. So there isn't really that much to say about this screenshot, except for the fact that this is a scene where the T-Rex attacks. It is a new screenshot. Like, we haven't actually seen this angle. I know we've seen this scene quite a few times now, but we haven't seen this angle, so it is a new screenshot, and I felt that it did need to be seen. Plus, it is cool. I really can't wait to play as the T-Rex. I really hope they show some gameplay of some dinosaurs eventually, maybe at some gaming event that's coming up. I just want to see what they can do, because we've heard what they can do, but actually being able to see it will be much cooler. Now this is interesting. Here we can see Robert Muldoon and Ellie Sattler walking across a plank of wood to try to get the other side. And I could be wrong here, but I think this is just before the clever girl scene, because of course Robert Muldoon's still alive. So I think this is just before it. I'm really impressed by the amount of scenes that we're going to be actually playing through in the game, because of course, there are missions, but I think even though they're missions, we're going to be going to multiple scenes from the movie. So like level 1 seems to have the bit at the beginning, but then also the part where Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler are actually digging for dinosaur bones. So it seems like they'll have at least 2 iconic scenes, or maybe more, in each mission, which is really cool. And of course, that definitely makes you think, how long are the missions going to be? I think they said it's 5 missions each for each movie, I think, including Jurassic World as well. That'll have 5 as well. So you get a good amount of content from each movie, and of course, that's not to mention, the side content in the open world. So definitely a lot to look forward to. Alright, so the final screenshot for the first Jurassic Park. Here we can see Dr. Alan Grant and the kids trying to avoid being hit by the Gallimimus. Now, we have of course seen this, I think this scene was in the trailer, but I'm definitely sure we've seen it in a screenshot. Again, that just goes to show how many iconic scenes are going to be playable, or you'll actually see in LEGO form in this game. I think you can really see the love and passion that's went into this game, because you can obviously tell that the people who are making this game grew up with Jurassic Park and love Jurassic Park. You can really see that. And of course, when they announced that they had playable Mr. DNA, that to me just shows how much they love this franchise, which is really great to see, because it shows that this could be well, Jurassic Park games aren't the best. You know, I don't really want to pick on any of them in particular, but they're not the best games in the world. I think this really will be the definitive Jurassic Park experience so far, because it just looks great, and the amount of characters, playable dinosaurs, and open world, you get to play through all the movies, including the new one. It's going to be a huge game, guys, and I just cannot wait. Alright, so now we're on to the Lost World screenshots, and we have quite a few things to get through in this image in particular that you can actually see. So first off, we can see Ian Malcolm using his flare to see in the dark. Pretty simple, you know, we already knew about that. There is of course a mission where you actually have to throw the flare into a T-Rex's mouth, so it will have more use than just being able to see in the dark. Another thing we actually see is our very first in-game look at two characters, Eddie Carr and Nick Van Owen, so it's pretty cool to see that they will also be in this mission. Now, the last thing I want to mention is if you look carefully, you can see next to Nick Van Owen, there's actually like this DNA thing. Now, I don't really know what that is, but like I was saying before, Mr. DNA, and I think it was confirmed that he's kind of like the Coulson of the game, you know, or the Alfred. He'll tell you hints and tips, and if you get stuck in things, so I think if you walk into that, it'll give you a hint. Maybe it'll say Ian Malcolm can use his flare to see in the dark. Something like that, something simple like that. But also, you know, it could mean something else, but that's just my guess for now. Next up, we get another look at Nick Van Owen, and I think if you look carefully, it looks like there's some sort of tools on the back of him, maybe some pliers or something. So maybe there'll be parts in the missions where you actually have to fix stuff as that character in particular. And of course, you know, with the LEGO games, there's always another version of that type of character. Not a copy and paste as such, but a character that also has that ability, basically. So I imagine Nick won't be the only character that can do that. Now, more importantly, Nick is actually watching a few Stegosauruses. Now, from what I know, this hasn't been confirmed. However, I wouldn't doubt the possibility that these dinosaurs will be playable, because, like I said, I think there's around 20 playable dinosaurs in the main game. So, you know, anything you see, it's a possibility. I honestly wouldn't doubt it, though, because they wouldn't show a dinosaur in a mission, you know, looking as cool as that and be like, no, I'm sorry, that's not playable. I just doubt they would do that. So, yeah, those guys should be playable, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Alright, so last but not least for the Lost World screenshots, we see of course Ian Malcolm holding on for dear life. Now this is of course the scene where the research trailer is hanging over the edge. There are of course more characters in this scene, but right now we only see Ian Malcolm. I'm really interested to see how they're going to do this scene in LEGO form. It should be pretty cool, but from this screenshot in particular, it already looks awesome, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Alright, so the final screenshot of today is of course from Jurassic Park 3. Now here we can see yet again Billy Brenning doing some sliding. He's missed that stuff, by the way. But most importantly, we also get our first in-game look at Amanda Kirby. Not the most exciting character in the world, but hey, you know, it's a new look at a character, so that's always cool. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this video. I mean, we got a really nice look at some of the new characters we can expect to see, some of the playable dinosaurs, hopefully, and of course the missions itself. Each mission looks really well done. I mean, if you think about it, if the missions look that good, imagine the actual open world. I'm extremely excited to see how that all works, and I really hope they show off the open world at some sort of, you know, gaming event or something, because that would be extremely cool. And of course, hopefully they show something on Jurassic World, you know, the actual missions or a character or anything. But personally, I have a feeling that they might not. I think they might leave Jurassic World for the actual release of the game. You know, they might not. They might just release one screenshot or something, but they really want to keep the story of Jurassic World under wraps, I imagine. So I doubt we'll see a lot from that movie in particular, but, you know, hopefully we see something, because it's always nice. Alright guys, so I want to thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for lots more news on LEGO Jurassic World, LEGO Marvel's Avengers, and LEGO Dimensions. And as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.